It's JSMFX. We're here to do another analysis on a couple of pairs, and today we're going to look at the analysis for 14th, the date of 14th to 8, sorry, the date of 21st to 25th of April. So buckle up. We're about to have a very long ride into seeing how these pairs behaved during the week in depth. So welcome. We're going to start off with the Euro USD. I feel that we start with the USD pairs before we go on to the others. So I'm going to start with Euro USD. So Euro USD from the daily, I've broken my structure here, okay, and price has gone up. So technically we are now waiting for a pullback, but it's not really clear because if you check very well, price went up like that, then came down, then now it's just doing what we call ranging. So it's kind of difficult to see the kind of direction that we would judge from the daily, but as you can see, we're still going to the upside. For our well, I can tell that if after this break of structure to the upside, you can see very well that we pulled back here, then we went up, then came down, caused a change of character, somewhat a change of character. Then possibly now we could be seeing some little bit of movement to the downside, maybe to make some few pullbacks before continuing to the upside. So what I'm seeing here is after what happened around here, we had we had we had this we had this return to this demand, then went up to mitigate more demand here, and then when it came down, it shot up. So this was a swing trade for me. This was a swing trade, though I didn't take it, but I was just trying to see how the swing traders usually look at their setup. So this was a very good setup. I wish I would have taken it, but as you can see, it shot very up and it shot very well, and I think this was a 3R. So right now, after this move to the upside, I feel or anticipate price coming back to here from this arrow, or from where price is right now. So let's go to the 15-minute and see how it's been. So I'll start off with the area where the swing setup was, so that we get to see some other facts and also discuss about some few trades that I took. Okay, I think last time when we talked from the last video, we were looking into this area around here, and as you can see, there was a very good structure that I left off here because if you check very clearly, we were for me, I was playing between this high and this low, okay, and then when price mitigated this huge range, or rather fractal range, for those that are doing SMC, you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't know much about SMC, let me know in the comments and I'll catch up with you, to see how we can work something out together. So yeah, so let me try and zoom this one in. So after the mitigation, right around here from that block, you can see, let me just reduce this one to here. Okay, we can see that we had a change of character, and then when price was coming up, I felt I shouldn't take this trade from this POI. If you check very closely, this one here, yeah, I was waiting for price to come there. But what I told myself is, when price comes there, what will happen next? I will only place a sell stop order. Okay, and this was my sell stop order. So price shot in, got me tagged in, okay, like this. So after the change of character right here, price went up, played around there, with the ranging and also the ascending triangle, building more liquidity, and then we shot up. So I placed a sell stop order here, which it tagged me in, caused another change of character, which was, now this was typical. After this change of character, we had the return to this order block or point of interest or supply. Okay, so price went up, down like that, then came up again. I think this was taken out on break even. I'm not really sure, but I think it was taken out on break even. So yeah, so price mitigated this supply again, and then made its way to our direction, which would have been a very comfortable 3R or 3.1. I normally take 3.1 because with 3.1 we are sure of covering all the commissions and the spreads that the broker will be using. So this was the direction that I told you about for the 4 hour, that it mitigated this area, or rather didn't mitigate it that much, but as you can see it came closer to it. So what it did actually, it came to this fractal range. The same way you saw this range above here, it's the same thing happened here. So it mitigated that area, didn't touch the extreme or the actual demand, and then shot up to the upside. So right now what I'm expecting is, after all this uptrend to the upside, we had this change of character, and then this was now a flip zone. Oh, sorry about that. So this was now a flip zone, so I expected price to come there, which it did, and then I took another trade, and it was a very good um, trade. And I think that was another, yeah, this was a 5.27, which is a very good trade. And then price came up after now coming down like this. Price came up, okay, mitigated this supply, and then came down. So all this time now I'm not involved, okay, I'm just watching the price playing out on its own, waiting for the right time. So when it came down here, now this was a risky trade that I took, but when it came down here, as you can see, it mitigated somewhat some supply, and then from there now price went down. This was another trade, and this trade I took it because we had this liquidity planned out, and then we had this demand that we were waiting for is to be mitigated, and then price came down there. So this was another trade that I took, which was a very good day for me. And then coming down here now to this demand area, I couldn't tell for sure where we'll take it from when we come there. But if you check very closely, for me, I didn't see much of a setup from that point, so I just let price go off. But I did tell people on the group that when we hit this demand, then price will go to the upside, which as you can see it did so, and then it came to this point. So when it came to this point now, I was now expecting price to at least pull back to this fractal range, the same way you've seen here, and then some demand area around here that we saw earlier. So as you can see, it was, for me, I assumed that it was typical, and that it would happen after the change of character, that it will come and mitigate this supply. As you can see, after the change of character, price went back to the supply. So I was expecting price to come down, maybe take out this relative loss, but as you can see, it didn't do that. What it did actually, it happened to play out the same way as this one. I don't think if we'll get it right now. I think it was this one here. Yeah, it played out like this one, okay, where it went up, took the liquidity after change of character, and then drove down. So that is what happened also on that section. So yeah, this was a loss, and no biggie. At least I had some good trades, so I just let that go. So if you check very closely now, if I was very attentive like the first trade that I just showed you, I would have waited for this liquidity to be taken out, say here. Okay, so after this change of character right here from this high, caused a change of character, then we started ranging, going to the upside. So I would have just been patient. Okay, I would have just been patient to let this liquidity be taken out from this high, then put a sell stop order right there, the same way I did previously. So yeah, I would have been tagged in, mitigate the supply again, okay, and then continue to the downside. So let's say I took that trade. I think this would have been, if I took it around here, then maybe target this liquidity. Yeah, this would have been 2.38. But still, price is I am still eyeing on price to come to this point, this level of demand. So if maybe I would have been targeting there, I would be holding right now all through the Easter. season. I'll be holding it, and yeah, it would have been a comfortable 4 hour, but we are still not sure, because if you check very closely, what can you say, check very closely, price is still going to the uptrend, or rather going to the upside. So we have a IBOS here, that is internal break of structure, and then we have our IBOS low, okay, that is the lower highs, sorry, higher low, and then this the higher high. So now I'm playing between this high and this low. So in between there, price is just ranging, okay, price is just ranging. But I placed this virtual trade, okay, just to see how price will react from this supply. And yes, looks like it has tagged me in, which now I'm anticipating that to, you know, drive price to that demand. I'm still not sure, price could also still go to the upside like this and then come down, okay. So they did what I feel the, you know, big institution and the market movers are trying to do is they're trying to give you an algorithm, which when you master they change to another one. So if you're very, you know, keen, you would realize that some other algorithms, they get to repeat, okay, they get to repeat them most of the time. So sometimes they give you a typical entry module like this one and this one. Sometimes they take out liquidity first before moving to the downside, or rather to the direction. So I feel with this one, okay, this supply, maybe it can get run, and then we move to the downside, or rather take out all this liquidity, because if you check, we have liquidity here with so many relative lows, and then we have another liquidity here, okay, with a trend line kind of thing to the upside like that. So that is what I'm checking out on the Euro USD, and I'll be waiting to see what will happen next week. So for now, I don't have much, but that's all for Euro USD. I'll be expecting price to come down here, but if not, then we should be going to the upside. Now, when it breaks to the upside, I'll not take any trades. I'll just be patient and wait for it to play out in any direction that it wants to. So that's all for Euro USD. Let's now jump on to GBP USD. So hey guys, GBP USD. So let's see. Uh, very obvious that I was playing between this low and that high, and as you can see from the internal structure, which is the orange lines, you can see that we had break this structure, and then, you know, we're moving to the upside. So this change of character is invalid, and we cannot actually, you know, think of any moves to the downside because it has broken the high. So what is just an interest to me is that we have this supply area where I'm expecting price to come to, and possibly see that maybe we can have a pullback from there. Now remember also, with the fundamental news about the tariffs, we are really not sure on when the dollar will be challenged after, you know, Trump making all those announcements. So let's just be patient, and for now grab what we can. But if it does that, people retaliate, and, you know, the dollar starts shaking, you know, getting nervous and all that, then maybe we could see some few deeper pullbacks on the higher time frames. That's my view. Okay, so that's the daily. I'm expecting price to at least come here and then go to the downside. So the 4 hour, 4 hour also not clear, but we saw some few moves to the downside. It's just that they happen on the lower time frames, but as you can see from the higher time frame on this 4 hour, we are still moving to the upside. So we had a change of character here. Price did pull back to this supply, but as you can see, it has broken above. So not really anything clear from there. Maybe just stick to the daily bias or plan. 15 minutes. Well, the Easter season has really been very dramatic, because as you can see, price is really moving very slow. So we need to be very careful. Number one is with these relative lows, okay, that are just drawn, and also with this liquidity that is being built from here. When was this? Sunday the 13th of April of 2025. Okay, so as you can see, it's really building. So anyone who is buying Please be very careful, take your patience really early, and don't leave out anything on the table, because price can do what it always does. So for this case now, I don't have much to explain here, because yes, there were a couple of moves that would have happened and then taken, but I didn't see one that was very clear. Number one, I think, was here. After price went back up to the supply, it shot to the downside. So meaning that now with this shoot to the downside, then that means that would have been a very good 3R trade according to our rules. So what I'll do right now is I'll just mark on the structure, so I feel we've broken this high. So my next high will be here. So I'll just drag this one here, put it there, and then next one is this one, which has been broken. So you see how very many small wicks happen to play out there. That means that no one was on the table, and anyone who was trading between, I think, Thursday and Friday, then it was really that much of a disturbing moment. So I stayed off the market. I did take one trade though, which was also a loss. I'll tell you about it. That was think Euro USD, sorry, USD Swiss franc. Yeah, we'll check that out in a couple of minutes. So I can't assume this being my high, so I'll wait for a deeper pullback. But until then, we've broken that high, and then we're going to the upside, and then I'll be waiting to see any development from there, and wait for anything that will happen. In terms of supply and demand, I will have this one drawn out, and then this one drawn out. If you're kind of wondering about this orange candles, that's what we call the inside bar. If you want to know more about it, it's free to get it, but how to use it now is what is the issue. So if you want to know about it, let me know in the comment section, or even in my Telegram group, so that I see on how I can walk you through on it. So yeah, we'll have this demand. So we're just following the price. Okay, we're following the trend, we're following the price on how it's moving to the upside. So we have, sorry, I think the Muslims are getting ready for prayer, so hope that won't be an issue. So I don't think we have any supply here that we can pay attention to, but up to there, that's what I can get on a GBP USD. So from the higher time frame is what we can see a bigger picture and understand what is going on, but from a lower time frame, still not ready, so we have to wait for more development. So that is all for GBP USD. As you can see, this is my 4-hour POI, which is in brown, so it has been violated, or rather breached. So I don't think I'll pay attention more in that, so I'll just delete it and then wait for more development from the higher time frames. So that's all for GBPUSD. Nothing much to discuss. Let's now go to the yen pairs and check out on some few AJ, EJ, and also GJ. Okay, so Australian dollar, Japanese yen. What are we seeing from this area? You can see that this is a weekly. This is a weekly structures of POI. So let's start off with the weekly, so we can see how it was playing out from that point. So if you check very closely, we had this internal structure breaking down to the downside. Okay, and then price came to mitigate this point before liquidity, which is a supply area that price mitigated in, and then went to the downside. So yeah, so I think this was a daily change of character. We'll see that in a minute, but price did go down. Okay, price did go down like that, came up, didn't mitigate this supply, but you see we played around and then continued to go to the downside. So with this now that happened, I think after the tariff announcement and all that, with this move that happened, we can see price mitigated this daily demand. We'll see that in a minute. And then now I am anticipating this move, okay, price to pull back to here and then continue to the downside, because that's the actual direction that we have been given. So let's go to the daily. So daily also, you can see very clearly that price drove out very sublimely, okay, to the downside. So what it has done right now is it has broken the structure, which is their daily internal structure. So after the break of that structure, you can see price came down and then moved to the upside for the pullback. Okay, sorry about that. Price broke the structure, came down like that, and now right now what I'm expecting is that this pullback will be deeper to this supply, okay, and then we'll be seeing some moves which might push price to the downside and continue with its downtrend nested inside this weekly supply, inside this daily supply. So that's how we look at it from the daily. That's my anticipation. 4 hour. So 4 hour. So 4 hour, for me, I feel it's now, opening up to give us some more ideas. But still, we can't assume on everything that we have before us, and we always have to just react when price gives us other or any um, setups. So let me just set this one real quick. I think I like it when I put my text like that. Yeah. So 4 hours. So we broke the structure, okay, that we saw on the weekly. Broke the structure, price came down. What it did now here is it gave us a very good setup where we had a change of character, and then price, as you can see, price came down. Let's try and zoom in. So price came down, pulled back with this inside bar that I told you, then short to the downside, then came and caused a change of character, okay, then range a little bit, then came and took out this liquidity. So after that, now it's when it came up to mitigate this actual supply that was left, which it also took liquidity from, and then from there it started ranging around here. Okay, so that is what I see from the 4 hour. In terms of anticipation or how or what I'm expecting from the same time frame coming in next week, I was expecting price to come and touch around supply area that was here and then go down, but still ranging. So all this is just to build liquidity. Okay, so first things first, I'll come and draw my liquidity line right there. Okay, and then set it up to LCLQ HTF. Okay, and then we have another one here, but I think we'll have some that are already drawn out in the 15 minutes. So those are my liquidity points, either for price to come down to this demand, okay, this one, or even this one, okay, and then continue to downside, because I feel this kind of pullback will still move deeper into these other supply areas, either this one or even this one. So those are my anticipation on this pair. Let's move into the 15-minute and see how or what it can give us. So I don't think if I had any trade here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. As you can see, this one. So I'll take you through that just in a minute. So let's start off with the 15-minute structure. Now, 15-minute structure was very dramatic. Okay, it was very dramatic because after this break of structure right here, I was expecting price to actually pull back at least to this demand. Okay, let's remove this so that it doesn't confuse you. Okay, so there was that flag, but price shot up because I was expecting price to continue to the downside, but that wasn't the case. So price just shot up from there. So when it was coming back, I was expecting also for price to come and mitigate this area, which it actually didn't. So after I saw that price charged here and then changed direction, I now change my narrative and continue now to play out on the situation where now price is in an uptrend. So let me try and zoom in so that we can continue explaining. So yeah, so price went up like that. Let's try and move faster. So high, high, low, high, high, played around there, cause a change of character. Price did pull back to the supply, expecting for it to go down, but it didn't. So all this time I'm just watching the price and waiting for the right time to pull my trigger. So that's when I saw this change of character, and then price pulled back to this supply. There was a supply area around here, and if you check very closely, this would have been a very good trade to the downside. And I also drew this trend line, which was my liquidity line. And then yeah, we had somewhat of a change of character here, but as you can see, price trickle down all the way to those areas. So let me just try and put it in, yeah, like that. Yes, let me remove this. So when price came down, okay, when price came down to this area of this to this area of demand, as you can see this one here, when it came down to that area of demand, I was expecting price to go up. But if you check very closely, when price touched this demand around here, I placed a buy stop order. Okay, so price tagged me, okay, tagged me like that, came down again. Let me draw that too. So price tagged me to the upside, happy that now in profit, but then came down and then played out like that. Okay, so I needed to notice something. After this pullback, price went further down. Okay, so my TP was just below this demand. Okay, because this was the demand that I was expecting price to play around in. And if that wasn't the case, then price would just take me out and then continue to the downside. But that wasn't the case. I was right, and I really thank God for that, because this was very close. The spread wasn't that much, so it wasn't that deep. So yeah, so price shot up. I think there was news here. It gave me a comfortable, I think 2R, if I'm not wrong. I think 2R. Yes, so that was the trade that I took, and then price, as anticipated, came up to the supply that I was expecting. So if you check very closely again, we had a flip zone right here. For those that don't know flip zone and SMC in depth, let me know in the comments, or also in my Telegram. Leave my link on the description box so that you can contact me and see what you can do about that. So price pullback and then went to the downside to mitigate that area of demand after this change of character. So you see how things just play out very typically from that point. So typical plays out typically from the strategy of smart money concepts. So if you check very closely now, we've had this change of character. We've actually not had any break of structure. I can't really call that a break of structure yet, but what I can do is I'll wait for price to see on how it will open up on Monday, rather on Tuesday, because on Monday will be the Easter holiday. So yeah, so I'm still playing around this low. Yes, I can call this my high, but not now. So what I'll do right now, I'll walk you through the internal structure so that we can mark out our areas of interest and follow the price, do our analysis. So yeah, so we have this boss, which now was broken here, and then we had this high, okay, which now this high got broken, got broken here. This was the last low, so now we're in a downtrend. Okay, so I'll also take this slight pullback as my internal structure. So this is my low, and then I have this high, which again got broken to the upside, so we change direction to the upside, and then we have this other high. Okay, so stretching it out to where it was broken, that's where price reacted, or rather broke through to the upside. So we have this high again. Okay, have this high. Okay, then we have this low. Now this low got broken. Okay, got broken, and as you can see, we've had a supply that was mitigated. If you check very closely after this break of structure, we have this supply. The price reacted, or rather mitigated, and then went to the downside. So right now we have this high, okay, and then we have this low, okay. So that's where now I am looking at price. So we have this supply, the price reacted from, and then we have this other supply, the price reacted from. So that's when, yeah, that's where now I'll be expecting price to, giving us a reaction from those 2 points. So we have this demand also that has been mitigated, and also have this demand that also has been mitigated. So all this uptrend is just to build liquidity, and we'll wait for us to see how it will play out coming in next week from Tuesday, on 22nd of April. So just drawing out the demand areas so that I remind myself on that day when it comes that everything was where we left it, and then we wait to see how price will play out from that point. So that is the analysis on the AU. Let's now look at Euro. So Euro JPY, as you can see from the daily, we have really been ranging. We've really been ranging for a very long time. Actually, I had everything planned out, and I felt my anticipation was right until the tariffs came in, and this structure was just broken. Anyway, price came down, okay, came down like that, caused the low, change of character. Now as you can see, we're going to the upside. Price played around again, okay, then broke to the downside, caused a change of character again on the daily, then now came back to this supply. Although this supply was mitigated very several times, but yeah, just pulling liquidity, then we see on the next direction. For me, if you ask me, after this return or other mitigation to this supply, this arrow is what I'm expecting the price to come down here and then come and take out this buy side liquidity to the upside. So that's just my anticipation on Euro JPY on the daily. So let's go now before I hope it will open up. Okay, thank you. For us, things look a little bit clear, because if you check very closely, we have an uptrend. This is a higher low, then higher high. Price broke this higher low to the downside, so maybe signaling us that we are going to the downside. And like I said before, change of character on the higher time frame is a break of structure on the lower time frame. So in this case, the 4-hour break of structure is the daily change of character. So here we can see that we had a change of character also. We actually had a change of bullish change of character right here. Price pulled back to the extreme, this huge candle, and then moved to the upside, and then we were trickling up to cause the uptrend, and then played around a little bit before causing the bearish change of character. So right now price has mitigated this supply zone where price was playing around, okay. And again, after that move, we can see very clearly that price has also moved again to this other, or rather next supply. So let's mark that real quick. It will help us check on the 15-minute to find out how things are and what we anticipate. So for our POI, now let's go into the 15 minutes, but before that, this is the last demand that was left before moving to the upside. So this void could be filled coming in next week, and I repeat, could be filled, okay, because the price can do whatever it needs to do. So here I put in my a little bit of a side note saying that I'm still convinced for a deeper pullback from this point of interest despite the sell buyers at this point. Okay, so yeah, that is my demand area where I'll be expecting price to come to according to the 4 hours. So 15 minutes, I think I'm not sure. I think I did have, yeah, I did have a, yeah, I did have a very good trade here. So I'll just explain that in a minute. Let's look at structure first. Well, this was the demand. Yeah, this was the demand of the 4 hour that I was expecting price to come to. Yeah, and then we have, or we've had this move to the upside. I think this was caused by the news. Okay, so we had that move to the upside, but this I don't think I took this trade. I was just monitoring it because I think it happened to play out the same time as AUD JPY. So yeah, so yes, now I remember. So price came down like that, and need you to see something. We had a change of character, then price started coming down like that. Okay, caused a change of character again. Okay, came down, took liquidity after this change of character, and then now came down like that. So I would have taken a buy stop here, okay, which would have, you know, given me another hint of an upside trade, and capturing some good 2.3, sorry, 2.8. And if you wanted a 3R, then yeah, 3.1R, that would have also been a good trade. So let's now move into the current state. So we see very clearly that we're on an uptrend with the high highs and higher lows, and now price is still playing around that section. Okay, so what happened? Sorry, when price came down after it took out liquidity here, as you can see, price caused a change of character. I forgot to draw that. Then as it was moving back to mitigate those areas of supply, I didn't take any trades, so I was just monitoring it. Price came down again. Okay, played around here and then came down again. I don't know why I'm not drawing. So came down like that. Okay, so we had a change of character here. Okay, we had a change of character, and then price went up, came and mitigated. This would have been a very good trade, but I don't think I was around. This was Tuesday. Yeah, I don't think I was around. So yeah, so price came down again, mitigated this demand, and then went up, came and take liquidity from this demand, mitigated again this extreme, and then went up. So when price now came to this point, I placed my buy stop. Okay, I placed my buy stop there, and then I let now price, you know, play out on its own. So this, I think this was on Wednesday. So on Thursday I wasn't around, so I just, you know, was monitoring from my phone. Okay, like that. So when price came down here, I moved my stop loss again, moved my stop loss to here because I think I had it at break even, but being on a Thursday, I think this was, yeah, in the evening, moved my stop loss, then, you know, maintained that direction. So this move to the upside, which, you know, was close to a TP. I wasn't around. This was on Thursday, so I just left price to, you know, play out. So when I was coming back, I think I got price around here, and it had me feeling that, you know, we could be coming down. So I took some partials, moved my trailing stop loss to here, and then yeah, it is what it is. Came, took me out. Yeah, so I secured the partials, and I secured the partials, and I secured the trailing stop loss, so all that was still in profit. So that's when now I gave up. I didn't take any trade, and I let price go it move on its own because we're coming into Good Friday, and I wasn't really prepared to, you know, look into any setup from that day. So right now I drew this supply, but as you can see, it kind of violated it, you know, a couple of times. So now not really interested in this pair. After this, it was actually a 4.8, but this would have been from my trailing stop loss, this was a 2.95. Okay, but even 3R would still be possible, and as you can see, price really did play out according to our anticipation. So if we are going to check on the sorry, for the setup coming in next week on this pair, just check on the 4 hour, and if you're in the 15 minutes, let everything play out coming Tuesday, and we'll see how things will be from that day. So that's all from Euro JPY. Let's now move to GJ, then I think we'll finish off with the USD CHF.
So let's look at pound yen. Okay, so I've been playing between this high and this low. As you can see, price has been ranging. Uh, After the tariff, the Trump tariffs, we've seen so many pairs really, disarranging themselves because you could have a plan of knowing where to swing or maybe to take your trades, but after the tariffs, things just got so messed up. And as much as all that happened, we still move on and see if we can find any other opportunities later on. So for this case, I was expecting price to buy from here, but that didn't happen. So I think this was when the tariff, pushed the price down. And yeah, right now it looks to, want to pull back. But when it gets to this point of the supply, then I don't know what next will happen. So you just have to keep in mind of that. So this is the daily, playing between that high and this low, price has been ranging. But as far as the tariff is concerned, price pushed down. And then right now we could be seeing some few moves to the upside to mitigate this supply area. So let's move on to the 4 hour. So 4 hour also, not bad of a structure. We are playing between that high and this low. Also, we have signaled that we might be continuing to the downside. So yeah, really confusing, a bit confusing. So we have this supply that has been mitigated a couple of times, and possibly also with this kind of a range and ascending triangle, we could also be facing more deeper pullback to this supply. But also we've left the supply demand on the lower side, so we don't know where price would go next. For now, let's just say it's ranging around here. So 15 minutes. This one now gets more interesting. Remember the liquidity points that we just drew. I drew on the 4 hour. That is this low, this sell side liquidity, and also this buy side liquidity. So on the 15 minute, we can see very well that. Let me try and zoom in first. We can see very well that yeah, we are now playing between this high and this low. And because this low didn't touch this 4 hour demand right here on the brown, return that, I had to switch my mind and say, okay, fine, then let's do the uptrend trade. So this is when now I saw this opportunity where we had this change of character to the upside, then we had this liquidity taken. So when price came down, came up, and then mitigated to this um, demand, I took a buy stop here, expecting the price would tap me in like that and then continue to the upside. So after all this, you can see very well it was a bullish flag. Oh, I don't know, bearish, bullish. Then price broke off the flag, and mitigated also further to this one of these demands, and then continue to the upside. So for this case, this trade, I think I was taken out on the trailing stop loss around here. I'm not really sure, but yeah, so that also caused change of character on the 4 hour, bullish change of character, and then short price up to mitigate this supply. Sorry, yeah, supply, and then continue to the upside. So I want to explain about this area where I took this trade and took me out wrongly. Sorry, unfortunately. So what happened is I waited for price to come up here, then I took a sell stop around here. So price did go my direction, but I didn't take I didn't take any partials expecting that price will still go down and mitigate this area of demand the way it has done here. So when it was coming back up, I just let price, going, continue going my direction. I think this was taken out on a break even. I'm not really sure. But what happened is I remember this was liquidity that was taken out and yeah, came down again. Okay, so actually I'm out of the trade all this time and then again came and took out this high and also this high that was taken out before, so it went further up to take out more liquidity and then that's when it drove to the downside. So what is happening right now is that even with this Easter we can see that price played out. Let me just remove this one real quick, get it out in 2 minutes. So what is happening is when price came down now because of this IBOS, okay, this internal breakup structure, we can see very well that now we're playing between this high and this low. Price has pulled back to the premium side and also it has signaled us that it wants to go to the downside. So you can see very well we went higher to mitigate the supply and then went lower. Okay. It also caused change of character along the way where price now mitigated back to this next supply. So just like that, you can see the way price mitigated these exchanging moves, the sell to buy, and then came mitigated the supply area. So all this is just ranging. Okay, it's just ranging and then mitigated again, and then now we've also created that I don't know if it's a wedge or a pennant, but I think it's a pennant. Yeah, we've created that and price is actually squeezing inside that structure of the pennant. So for me, I won't react to this. I would want to see how price will come or turn out to be on Tuesday, the 22nd of April, if I'm not wrong. Let's see if we can mitigate some of these demand areas, this one and this one. Yeah, and see if we can push price up to the upside from that point. Other than that, we still have this demand where we could be expecting also to price to come to that point. So anything can happen. Let's wait and see how it will be on the 22nd of April 2025. So USDCHF, last but not least, interesting pair. Can see very well that we are playing now between this high and somehow maybe a low could be created here after this breakout structure to the downside. If we check very closely after zooming in, we can see that this supply could be mitigated this week, but we are still not sure. So let's put this one first, the 4 hour, so that we can see if we can get any opportunities or areas of interest that price could come back to. What you're seeing here is price is just ranging, especially on the lower time frame. So possibly this could be, excuse me, this could be a reason for us to, take some pullbacks to this area, but we're still not sure. So let's check on the 4 hour, see if we can have any development. So 4 hour, we're also on a downtrend. So after this break of structure, now playing between this high. This is not really a low for me, but still expecting at least maybe price to push to the upside. We've had this change of character. Price is actually returning, but this change of character for me is not that valid because it doesn't have a candle close above. So yeah, we also have to wait for that and see how price will play out from there. Um, I'm really not sure if price is going to pull back deeper because this change of character is not that convincing. So we just wait for more development. Let's go to the 15-minute and see what is happening. So this is where it got a bit dramatic because I had some few areas where I was targeting to take some trades. So let's just start off with explaining here. We had a change of character after this breakout structure, then pull back to take out liquidity, and then had another change of character. This is where now you need to pay attention because these things can get funny, and if you're very attentive, then you can maximize or monetize that wisdom that you have. So we had this change of character. Price came to count liquidity. liquidity. And then we now had another change of character, which this change of character, the second change of character, let me draw it on right there. Under this change of character, we can see very well that price came and mitigated this demand, which does not, I think, it will mitigate not only once or twice, but several times. But you can see very well that after here, it pushed price to the upside. So that would have been a typical entry module, which SMC students know about. Later on, I was just watching the price, but I was still telling people that when I think I told people that when price came down here, it will still shoot up and mitigate here, and also when it comes here, it will come and go down, and just things like that. Sometimes when you get used to these structures, you get to anticipate on the right direction. So anyway, followed up again right here after this change of character. I told the guys in the group that to mitigate right here, okay, and then short to the upside, and also here anyone maybe was in the group and was listening or checking, the sell from there would also be another reason for them to take the sell down to this point, or maybe to break structure on the low. So when it got here now, this is when I got involved. Okay, I said, you know what, as much as the other yen pairs were also giving me profits, this time let me just concentrate on USD and maximize on this one also. So I noticed that there was a change of character right there. Price went up. There was actually the candle close above, then price went up. When it came down now, I noticed that this was all just but a triangle. So okay, so when it came down like that, I think when it came down on around here, I took a buy stop. Yeah, I took a buy stop around here, then price shot up like that, then came down, and then it came trickling lower close to my stop loss. So I think I was taken out because of what do you call it, because of spreads. Yeah, so that's when I was taken out, and then price shot off. Okay, so anyone who was holding or maybe had their stop loss below that low, my low, then they were lucky to actually grab this to this supply and get a 2.36. Okay, so that will also be another good setup. So after that, we can see the price cause another change of character after creating this flip zone. So change of character, which is our high boss, and going to the upside, came down here. Now at this point, okay, at this point, I thought after this change of character, I could take a sell from this point and then mitigate to this area. But yes, I had my entry, was in profits, but I think there was news here. I forgot about this news because I just came out from my errands and I noticed that there was that setup. I took it, but didn't pay attention to check on my Facebook and find out if there are any relative things, important things that I should look at. So news took me out right here on my sell trade, and then yeah, came and mitigated now on the anticipated supply, and then now we have gone to the downside. So we have caused a change of character, which now price has been ranging for the Good Friday, and now price is trying to give us moves to the downside. So possibly, I'm not advising anyone, possibly price could come to this point and then continue to the upside. So that is what I'm thinking about USD CHF, and that is what I'm anticipating. Also this supply, let's not forget about it. Price could also come there first and then come here and then continue to the upside. Yeah, so all that put together, we just need to be a little bit cautious. Okay, if I'm going to change my mind on my structure, especially the internal structure, I will take this as my internal boss, which was broken to the upside, and then we change direction from this change of character. By now, I'm hoping you understand the way I match up the change of character with the breakout structure. So we have this low also that has been broken. I'd love to just draw this through so that you see how I check on my structure. So this now was my next low that had at least a fair pullback to the upside. and then yes, but oops, you can see we had this break to the upside like that. So my low will change again to this one. And then let me remove. Okay, let me remove that. Then remove this. Okay, yeah, like that. I think that's okay. So let me remove that and then extend this one to where the candle had a close below. Then later on, yeah, had this next low that had a fair pullback after that break of structure. Remember, I'm not looking at the wicks, I'm looking at the candle close below or above. So if you ask me in my internal structure, I'll be playing between that high and also this low. But this low is not actually um, it's not actually, you know, making sense for me. So I'll just let price play out coming in next week, and yeah, wanting to see how it will develop from that point. So that is all I have for GBP USD. Sorry, USD Swiss franc, and that's all I can have, and that's all I'm anticipating on my analysis and forecast for this week and next week coming in. So I don't have much. What I can only advise is this trading is all about the structure for me and the risk management, because if you know how to manage yourself, for me personally, if you ask me, I'm struggling with management. I'm struggling with risk management, but I'm kind of getting a module that I can work with on myself, or rather with myself, to myself. So you can also do the same, but if you feel you're struggling the same way with actually everything that I've explained, and maybe you've not understood what is actually going on different areas, let me know in my Telegram group if you want us to trade together also. And if you want me to look into trading with you in a personal level, then let me know in my comment section. If you want us to trade together, you can get to my Telegram group. It's free. You can come there and let's do some trading together. So for now, just hope that you have a good weekend. Happy Easter, and God bless you guys. See you next Saturday.